Hey y'all, welcome back to part 2 of What If the NFL Used the NBA playoff format. If you haven't seen part 1, I would very much recommend you go check out that one. Link will be down below in the description. If you have seen part 1, welcome back. I'll give a few recaps right now. So in case you forgot, the Colts blew their opportunity of defeating the Bills. They're the 7th seed. They had 2 chances to close out the series, and they failed, and they let the Bills win the last 2 games to win the series 4-3. The Seahawks almost blew a 3-0 lead to the Bears, going all the way to Game 7, and the Bears blew their opportunity to pull off the best comeback I would have ever seen in my life. And also there was only one technical upset with the lower seed winning, and that was the Ravens beating the Titans. So anyways, let's just get on to the video. The first matchup is the Chiefs versus Ravens. Alright, so Chiefs versus Ravens. Chiefs beat the Dolphins 4-2. The Ravens beat the Titans 4-1. The Ravens were really good on the road in the first series. The Chiefs were not good on the road, but they were very good at home. So, obviously they're at home. So both teams, I think, could have the advantage here. I'm going to guess probably the Chiefs win Game 1. I think they're the better team. And that's where I think most of these series are going to go. I think the better team will win. But, you know what? Let's just see what happens. Let's just sim to the end of the game. Alright, here's looking at the first score on the board. Ravens up 3-0 early on. Now they're up 6-0. Still have not scored a touchdown. Chiefs offense has not yet got on the board. Finally, they get a field goal. Very defensive game. Only field goals being allowed. 12-3, 12-6. When will we see our first touchdown? Finally, the Chiefs score a touchdown. 13-12. Now it is 20-12. Can the Ravens get on the board with a touchdown? They cannot. And the Chiefs pull away late and to really blow them out late. 34-12. Chiefs take Game 1 after the Ravens and their offense could not score a touchdown. Now into Game 2, the Chiefs will try to do exactly what they did, maybe a little better, and score touchdowns in the first 2 or 3 quarters. But they're going to try to win in Game 2 at their home. So Game 2, as I said, Chiefs are going to try to take a 2-0 series lead, but the Ravens definitely, I think, should need to win this game to make it 1-1. You cannot go down 2-0 to these Chiefs, especially when you didn't play that well at your home stadium in the first round. But who knows? But the Chiefs also don't play good on the road, so you never know. It's not a must-win for the Ravens, but if they get it, it would be very good, helpful in the series. Ravens on the board first 7-0. This time they can go down and score a touchdown. Now they're up 14-0 over the Chiefs. Man, Chiefs once again cannot score in the first half. 20-0. The one-seeded Chiefs are getting blown out. Now it's 20-7. Can the Chiefs crawl back? Well, it doesn't look like it. 26-14. Ravens put on a clinic in Game 2, 33-21 to tie the series 1 apiece. So the Ravens go back home. Now they have home field advantage in the series after taking 1 on the road. If they can win their home games, they would win the series, but it's never that simple. Let's see if the Ravens are able to take a 2-1 series advantage in the next game. All right, so Ravens tie the series 1-1. I mean, in this game, do they have of course they have a shot at winning. They're the home team, but the Chiefs just have to play, 1, they got to play better on the road, and 2, they have to play better than they did in the last game. They did not look like the #1 overall seed. So let's see if they can win this game. They're already up 7-0. That's something they did not do in either first game, or get a touchdown in the first half. Not only have 2 touchdowns in the first half, but Ravens also scoring touchdowns, 21-14. Very offensive game, very unlike the past 2 games, 28-14. 28-21, this is a close game. Now we're tied, 28-28, 31-28. Can Ravens take the lead? No, Chiefs a gap in their lead, 38-35. The score got a little closer there in the fourth quarter, even though Chiefs were up by 10 points. But the Chiefs hold on to win Game 2. They take the 2-1 series advantage. They also take back home field advantage in the series too, which is important to them. But this is going to be a very close series. I see this one going right down to the wire. So the Chiefs are looking to take a 3-1 series advantage over the Ravens, but the Ravens, obviously, you want to avoid the dreaded 3-1 series. I've said this throughout if you didn't see part 1, I said this throughout the whole time. You got to avoid the 3-1 series deficit. For the Ravens, this is a must-win situation. You got to put them in a situation like they were with the Dolphins, but then you got to capitalize over it. Let's see if the Ravens can do what the Dolphins did, but, better and win the series. But first, they got to make it 2 games apiece. Ravens on the board first, 7-0. 7-3. Now it's 14-3. This is exactly what the Ravens want to do. 14-10. 21-10. They got to keep it 2 scores. 21-13 at halftime. Now it's tied. 21-21 Ravens. You got to stay ahead of them further. We are tied again. 28-28. Now it's 31-28. But the Chiefs score a touchdown. No. Ravens get another field goal. 34. And the Chiefs score a game-winning touchdown. Whoa, I could barely keep up. The Chiefs win 35-34. Wow. The Ravens had it. They could not get touchdowns at the end of the game and had to kick 2 field goals. And the Chiefs capitalized, and with Patrick Mahomes' magic, go on to score a touchdown to take a 3-1 series advantage over the Ravens before going back home. Ravens, you blew your opportunity there. Now you got to get out of the 3-1 series deficit. For the Chiefs, an opportunity to close out the series in a series where all the games, well, I guess the first 2 weren't close, but the past 2 games have been very close, especially the last one where the Chiefs won. They won both the road games, which was massive for the Chiefs. Now they're at home and have an opportunity to close out the series in 5 games. The Ravens, they've got to feel like they have missed opportunities. They could be up right now in the series. They could at least have the series tied if they only could score touchdowns, but they only could get field goals, and they let the Chiefs score a touchdown on them late to lose that last game. Must-win situation game for the Ravens, obviously, because if they lose, they go home. I guess we're just going to have to see. Can the Chiefs close out the series, or will the Ravens keep it going 1 game longer? All right, Ravens on the board first with a field goal. Now the Chiefs up 7-3. 14-3. Ravens cannot score a touchdown when they need it most. 20-6, 2-touchdown game. 20-8, they got a safety. 12-point game going into halftime. 20-11, still a 2-score game. Now it's a 3-score game. 28-17. Chiefs, they came to play when they needed it. Ravens are like, I don't even know if I guess they've gotten a touchdown, but man, they got blown out of the water. And the Chiefs win the series in 5. This took less than the Dolphins series. That took 6 games. This only took 5, which is a little shocking. Did not expect the Chiefs to just blow out the Ravens like this. So, our 1 seed that was lower than a 4, the Ravens are out after 5 games. They tried to give a good effort to the Chiefs, but the Chiefs are just too much for the Ravens. The next matchup is the Bills versus the Steelers. So the Bills had a very close call with the Colts in the first series. The Steelers handled the Browns easier than I thought they would. I do think the Bills are the favorite to win the series, but man, it would have been interesting if the Colts were here, I just gotta say. The Colts blew that opportunity. I'll still never get over that. But, you know, let's just get to the end of the game. And so far, 0-0. Steelers on the board first with 7-0. Now at 14-0. Steelers would love to get out of here with a win over the Bills early on. Remember, that was the downfall of the Colts not winning the first game of the series. 17-3, now it's 17-10. Bills have kept it close, but now Steelers make it a 2-touchdown game. 24-13. Steelers are pulling away 31-13, 31-20. 38-20 is the final score. Steelers get the win. They take game 1. As I don't know, I think Madden thinks the Steelers are a little bit better team than they are supposed to be, and they think the Bills are a little bit worse of a team than they're supposed to be. I don't know. But hey, there's still more games in the series. The Bills can still win the next 4 and win the series 4-1. You never know. They do have another home game coming up, though. I do know that. So the Bills have another shot to try to at least tie the series, or at least, I guess not another shot. They have a shot to tie the series. If they lose this game, they'll be down 2-0 and have 2 road games coming up. For Bills, that is something you definitely don't want to do. The Steelers have already taken the advantage in the series by winning game 1. But obviously, they'd love to win game 2 and have a shot to really close out the series by winning their 2 home games. That'd be huge for the Steelers. Who's on the board first? Steelers on the board again first, 7-0. Bills only got a field goal, 7-3. So far, very defensive game, 10-7. Bills take the lead. Now it's 17-7. Now the Bills are showing their offense, 20-7. A very good lead over the Steelers. Still only a 2-score game, 23-15. They got to the 2-point conversion, 26-15. Doesn't look like the Steelers are going to be able to come back. The Bills are going to hold off to win the game 29-15 over the Steelers. They tie the series back in 1 game apiece. However, the Steelers technically still have home field advantage. If they win all of their home games in the series, the Steelers would win this series. But hey, I would not count the Bills out in winning their road games, because obviously I say they have home field advantage, but usually all the time we see a road team win all the time. So I still say the Bills had the advantage in the series. They looked really good here, but I'm just saying, technically the Steelers still technically have home field advantage for the series until they lose a road game, or until they lose a home game. I mean, Steelers are at home with an opportunity to take the series lead 2-1, but the Bills looking to take back home field advantage in the series if they were able to win either game 3 or game 4. I'm sure they'd love to win both of them, take a 3-1 series lead to go back home. They could possibly do what the Chiefs did when the Chiefs were tied 1-1 in the series. They won both their road games, then won game 5. Let's see if the Bills can do what the Chiefs did. All right, Steelers on the board for 7-0. They're looking to defend their home field advantage. Up 14-0 now. Bills 14. It's 14-3 Steelers. Bills got a field goal. Bills have not yet scored a touchdown. 14-6. It's only a one-score game though. Bills still in it, and they tied the game at 14, getting a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. Steelers have not done anything offensively in a while. Bills take a field goal 17-14, and the Steelers, after having a great first quarter, do absolutely nothing for the rest of the game. And Bills win 17-14. Bills did the bare minimum they needed to do, only getting one touchdown, a 2-point conversion, and 3 field goals to win the game. But hey, they won the game. They took home field advantage back and went up 2-1 in the series. Let's see if they can go up 3-1 now, or can the Steelers tie the series back up 2 games apiece. All right, Steelers, pretty much a must-win situation. You don't want to lose both of your home games to go down 3-1 in the series. That'd be back to the Steelers. As for the Bills, still trying to do exactly what the Chiefs said. They still have an opportunity. If they win this road game, that'd be huge for them. Steelers up 7-0. 10-0 now. They got an early lead in the last game, too. 17-0. Bills doing nothing offensively. Now the Steelers' offense finally showed up, something they didn't do in the past 3 quarters. 24-6. 3 score came, and the Bills even score a touchdown. And there's a touchdown, 24-13. Can they come back? It's only a 3-point game. Hold on. Will the Steelers blow a huge lead? It is 24-20. Bills take the lead, 27-24. Now Steelers back in front. Now Bills back in front, and oh my God, the Steelers just blew a massive lead. Wow. Man, Steelers suck. Holy crap. 34-31. Bills come from behind to take the 3-1 series advantage. What were they down? 24-6, 24-3, something like that. I think it was 24-6. Might have even been 24-3. I'll have to look back in the footage. But man, we know at least it was 24-6. Steelers only scored 7 points in the second half, and the Bills scored, what, 25 or something? Or more than that. It was more than that, I think. Just unbelievable. Wow. Now the Bills go back home and have a shot to close out the series in 5 games. A series that has been close so far. Looked like the Steelers were going to blow them out of the water. But the Bills come back and fight back to take a 3-1 series lead. With how the series has gone, I would have never expected the Bills already having an opportunity to close out the series in 5. I mean, that'd be huge for the Bills. The Chiefs are able to do it, so the Bills would love to keep the same pace as the Chiefs after having to go to 7 games against the Colts. Bills have impressed going up against the Steelers pretty well. Well, I mean, I guess let's just see if they can close it out in 5. The Steelers must-win situation, or they go home. Can they not blow it this time? They blew it last time. Still no score so far in the first quarter. The first quarter went scoreless. Now the Steelers get on the board 7-0. Something the Steelers have done very often, get an early lead 14-7. You really just got to keep watching because the Steelers have done nothing in the second half. 14-21. Okay, this time they're doing stuff in the second half. We are tied 21-21. Must-win game for the Steelers. Now they're up 28-21 late in the game, and this time they hold on to win the game. Steelers draw the series back closer. It is now 3 games to 2. They have a shot to go back home, win the game, and force a Game 7. Steelers looking to force a Game 7 here in Game 6 if they can get the job done. If the Bills win this game, they can close the series out in 6 and avoid another Game 7 situation. They went to 7 games in the first round. Steelers, it only took them 6 games, but obviously if they win this series, they're going to want it to go to 7, because they do not want it to end in 6, because that means they will have lost. Steelers on the board first, 3-0. We're tied 3-3 when we see a touchdown. Steelers get on the board first with a touchdown, 10-3, or they get the first touchdown on the board. We are into the second half. It is still 10-3. Bills have not scored a touchdown yet, 10-6. Very defensive game in the fourth quarter. Steelers up by a touchdown, 13-6. Bills tie the game, 13-13. Can the Steelers... Oh, the Bills kick a game-winning field goal. In a game where there were so many field goals, the Steelers once again blow a fourth quarter lead, and the Bills close out the series in 6 games, winning 16-13. They will face the Chiefs in the next round. Now, time to go over to the NFC side, where I think a very anticipated matchup where the Packers are the 1 seed and the Super Bowl winning team Buccaneers are the 4 seed. It'll be interesting to see if the Buccaneers can move on past the Packers in a 7 or a best-of-7 game series. Both of these teams did very well in their first-round series. The Packers beat Washington in 5 games, while the Buccaneers were the only team to do the 4-0 sweep of the Rams. This is a series I'm very interested in because the Buccaneers in real life beat the Packers pretty handily twice. Once was the NFC Championship game, and the Buccaneers went on to win the Super Bowl. This was on the AFC for, the Chiefs and Bills were going to face each other in the next round. That was a matchup that was actually the AFC Championship game. This was the NFC Championship game right here, but that means they cannot be in the NFC Finals or whatever they're called. NFC Conference Finals or whatever. So yeah, that's another interesting point, and the Packers are the higher overall, so they should be favored in the series. But really, it should be the Buccaneers, seeing how they did kind of win the Super Bowl. Buccaneers on the board first, 7-0. Now Packers tie the game 7-7. I think the Packers realize that both these teams realize they're not going to have any. This is going to be harder than the first round matchup. Buccaneers up 14-10. Now the Packers up 7, but now right like that, the Buccaneers up 21-17. You can barely even keep up. Buccaneers up 24. Now 31-17. Holy crap! There's so much scoring in this game, unlike the last series. 45-7, 52-17. Holy crap! Buccaneers blow out the Packers like usual to take game 1 in the series. Tony, this is the series where we're most likely going to get an upset, but it's also not an upset. It's a very interesting situation. 52-17. Man, Buccaneers, Tom Brady throwing touchdowns like there's no tomorrow. Ooh. Got another game, though. Packers have another home game to try to, not do that and do the exact opposite of that. They kept it close at the beginning. The Buccaneers 20, but Packers scored 0 points in the second half, and the Buccaneers scored 31 points in the second half. That was the big difference. Can the Packers do the exact opposite they did in game 1 and what they've done in real life? And can the Buccaneers continue to do what they do all the time? Destroy the Packers. Buccaneers already up 7-0. Can the Packers get on the board? Man, the Packers' kryptonite must be the Buccaneers. We were tied 7-7 now. Buccaneers up 14-7. Now we're tied again 14-14. Can the Packers score in the second half this time? Yes, they do. They're up 20-14. They missed the extra point. Buccaneers scored 2 touchdowns very quickly. They're up 28-20. Packers missed the 2-point conversions. 26. Now it's 35-26. 35-29. Packers are going to miss their opportunity. And the Buccaneers win 2 games on the road. Not sure what happened with the screen there. Now it looks back to normal. Buccaneers take a 2-0 series lead on the road. They're going to look to possibly sweep this series when they go back home for their next 2 games. With how dominant the Packers looked in the first round, that would be very shocking. But right now, it's shaping up to look that way, so the Buccaneers look like a really good team. Can the Buccaneers put the Packers in a 3-0 series deficit? They have blown out the Packers so far. At least in Game 1, they blew them out. Game 2 was close, but the Packers just could not beat the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers are clearly the better team here. And now they're at home for the next 2 games and have an opportunity to close out the series if they win their home games. Or can the Packers win the 2 road games and tie the series back up 2 games apiece? They're going to need to if they want to take back home field advantage in this series. Buccaneers already on the board first 3-0. Now Packers score touchdown 7. Now Buccaneers score touchdown 10-7, 13-7. Packers back up top 14-13. Now the Buccaneers back up top 20-14. And it's a 6-point game right now going into halftime. It's going to be 23-14. Buccaneers with the lead. Now they're 29-14. Man, the Packers' kryptonite must be the Buccaneers. 29-21. Now it's 36-21. 36-28. Packers got it closer, but Buccaneers take a 3-0 series lead as the 4 seed. So at least Madden realizes the Buccaneers did win the Super Bowl and are treating them as the better team. So even in a best-of-7 series, man, these Buccaneers are really good. They swept the Rams and now have an opportunity to get the second in a row series. They win 4-0 and it would be over the Packers, which are the best team. Not exactly sure how the Packers scored 1 point in the first quarter. Don't think that's how the scoring went. Pretty sure that's supposed to be a 7, but it's Madden. Sometimes you just gotta accept it because Madden does stupid things like that. But anyways, on to game 4. Can the Buccaneers do back-to-back sweeps? I did not think the series would be going this way. I thought it would be probably 2-1 right now. I don't know which team would have the advantage, but I just thought it would be 2-1. I thought this series was really close and have to be tied after 4 games. But the Buccaneers are proving otherwise. Can the Packers avoid elimination, or will they just face the inevitable and lose the series at 4 games? Packers on the board for 7-0. That is something they have not done all series. Now they're at 14-0. 14-7. Can the Buccaneers fight back? Packers up 17-7. Now it's 17-14. Buccaneers have kept it close. Now they're in the lead. 21-17. Now it's 24-17. Wow, dude, the Packers cannot catch a break. It is 31-20. 38-20. 38-27. Can the Packers fight back? It's 38-30. They have a chance, and they won't do it. The Buccaneers sweep the Packers as the 4 seed and advance to the NFC Finals. And winning 38-30, swept the series in 4 games. Whoa. Man. Dude, the Buccaneers. I mean, at least Madden realizes that the Buccaneers is a good team. But man, did not expect them to sweep the Packers, especially since the Packers are 90 overall and the Buccaneers are an 88 overall. Never would have expected them to say the Buccaneers are this good. And just absolutely screw the Packers over like that. And maybe Madden realizes that the Packers cannot beat the Buccaneers. In the next best of 7 series, we have the Saints versus Seahawks. Saints handled the Cardinals in 5 games, but the Seahawks had a very close scare with the Bears, having a 3-0 series lead and then having it go to 7 games before blowing out the Bears in Game 7. The Seahawks, would love to have a 3-0 start again, but, this time not lose it to the Bears, or lose it to the Saints this time, which are a better team than the Bears, so I don't see them getting a 3-0 series lead. Saints might get a 3-0 series lead, but I'd say the Saints are definitely favored in this series, but let's just see what happens. Saints on the board first, 3-0. No touchdowns in the first quarter. Now it's 7-3. Now it's 10-7 Saints. Will we get a score before halftime? Yes, Saints up 13-7 at halftime. Still close game. Now Seahawks take the lead, 14-13. Now they're up 20-13. They have a 7-point lead. Now it's 27-13, 27-20. Still close. Can the Saints come back? They cannot. The Seahawks take game 1. Kind of a shocker, but hey, I guess the Seahawks are just good in the beginning, the beginning of the games. Or the beginning of the series, I guess, because obviously they had a 3-0 lead. They just have to work on closing out the series. Let's see if they're able to take another game on the road against the Saints. Can the Seahawks go up 2-0 on the road? Would be huge for the Seahawks before going back home, to where I think the Seahawks have a very big advantage as a home team. Saints up 3-0, just like how the last game went 3-3. Now it's Saints up 10-3, very similar to the last game, but now Saints blowing them out 20-3. This is what I expected more out of the first game. I think the Saints are a much better team than the Seahawks. They are 41-3. They are unleashing all of their anger that they lost in Game 1. 54-70, 61 points. The Saints scored 61 points. Look at that smug look on Sean Payton's face. 61 points the Saints scored to tie the series back up. If the series keeps going like that, good luck Seahawks. But hey, I guess the series is tied and you're going back home, so what else can you ask for? At least you got that going for you after giving up 61 points to a team. It's almost embarrassing. It's almost blowing a 3-0 series lead. After giving up 61 points in the last game, the Seahawks still have an opportunity to go up 2-1 in the series. They are at home. I would not expect what happened in Game 2 to happen again to the Seahawks because, they are at home now. They're not going to do what they did in the last game, and they're going to have a better game plan going into this game. I kind of think the Seahawks are going to win this game, but with what the Saints did in Game 2, would not be shocked if the Saints win. Who's going to get the first score? Seahawks on the board first, 3-0. Now they're up 6-0. Still no touchdowns. Now the Saints take the lead 7-6. Can the Seahawks score touchdowns? Saints up 14-6. Now it's 14-13. Can the Seahawks take the lead? Yes, they do. 19-14. Now Saints back up top. 22-19. They got a 2-point conversion as well. 29-19. And now they are starting to blow them out. 36-26. 39-26. 39-33. Seahawks made it a little bit closer there at the end, like it was in the first half. But the Saints completely controlled the second half. They take the 2-1 series advantage. I was wrong about my prediction. Saints take back home field advantage in the series. Once again, we are back at the Seahawks for Game 4. See if they can tie the series back up 2 games apiece. Very important game for the Seahawks, like I've said all video long. You don't want to get in the 3-1 series hole. We saw that happen to the Ravens got in the 3-1 series hole. The Steelers got into the 3-1 series hole, and then the Packers got into a 3-0 series hole. So we've seen a lot of blowouts so far in the series. Let's see if the Seahawks are able to keep the series close, get it to 6 games. I think they can, but I have a feeling with what the Saints have been able to do in the past 2 games, that the Seahawks are going to have a tough time doing that. Seahawks on the board first with a field goal that probably could have used a touchdown there. We're in the second quarter. It's still 3-0. Now the Seahawks up 10-0. Now it's 10-3. Seahawks finally using this home field advantage to their advantage, stopping the Saints offense completely. 17-9. It's still a touchdown game. They missed the 2-point conversion. 17-15. Now the Saints back up top. 22-17. Can the Seahawks score a touchdown? No, they can't. They're letting the Saints offense score after holding them very well in the first half. Once again, the Seahawks cannot do anything in the second half and let the Saints roll all over them in the second half. The Saints have now won 3 games in a row to take a 3-1 series lead over the Seahawks, and they're going back home for Game 5. Seahawks, man, I thought they would do really well in their home games. They did the exact opposite. At one point, the Seahawks led in this series 1-0. They have now given up 3 games in a row to the Saints. Can they win when they need it most? They were able to do in Game 7 when the first time they were at a must-win situation. You know, they were able to win the game when they needed it most. Can they do it again? Can they do the exact opposite what they did in the last series when they had a 3-0 series lead? This time they're trying to come back 3 games to 1. Can they do it? I mean, it's possible. The Bears almost did against them, so maybe they can learn what the Bears did and use it against the Saints to their advantage. They only have to win 3 games in a row, not 4. Seahawks on the board for 6-0. They missed the extra point, 6-3. Now Seahawks up 13-10. The Saints also got a touchdown. Saints back up top, 17-13. Looking to close the series out. Seahawks back up top, 20-19. Now it's 25-20. Seahawks need a touchdown very badly. They get it, 26-25. Missed the extra point again, or at least they went for 2. 33-26. Now we're tied, 33-33 in overtime. Must-win game for the Seahawks, and they get it. The Seahawks in overtime come up clutch to win the game in overtime, 36-33, to force the series to a Game 6, and they have to win a game at home. They were unable to do it last time. They've been good on the road, but at home they struggled and have an opportunity to win at home. We'll see if they can do it this time. Seahawks backs were up against the wall massively in a Game 5, having to go to overtime, taking the game-winning field goal in overtime as well. They're now at home. Let's see if they can actually win at home. I like the Saints' odds of closing out the series here, but who knows? Maybe the Seahawks can force the Game 7 and cause the Saints to blow a 3-1 series lead. Saints on the board first, 3-0. Now Seahawks take a 7-3 lead. Saints back up top, 10-7. For the Seahawks, this is a much harder opponent than the Bears, 13-10. Can they do what the Bears almost did to them? 17-13. Now it's 23-20. Seahawks up front. Now Saints back in front. 27-23. Seahawks need a touchdown very badly. Now it's 34-23, 34-29, and they cannot come back. The Saints win the series in 6 games to advance to the next round. Let's take a look at the updated bracket. Only one upset this round. The Buccaneers swept the Packers in this round. The Saints will have home field advantage, but that will be a NFC South matchup between the Buccaneers and Saints, and for the Chiefs and Bills, that is an AFC Championship rematch. This time it will be a best-of-7 series. Let's head on over to the Chiefs versus Bills in the AFC Finals. The Bills have somehow made it here after looking like they were going to blow it to the Colts in the first round. They handled the Steelers pretty well. The Chiefs have had an also pretty relatively easy march to the AFC Finals, beating the Dolphins in 6 games, then beating the Ravens in 5 games. Chiefs, in real life, obviously won this matchup in 1 game, but can the Bills win a best-of-7 series? I guess we'll just have to see and find out if it's possible. I would favor the Chiefs in the series. It makes just sense. They are the better team. Usually the better team wins the best-of-7 series. Chiefs up 7-0, 7-3. So far, Bills have not got a touchdown. 10-3, still within 1 score. No score in the second quarter. 17-3. Man, Bills cannot do anything offensively at all. 24-3. Now it's 24-10. Bills still kind of in it, but not really anymore. 31-17. Kind of like in real life, the Bills never really had a chance in Game 1. But hey, this time they have an opportunity to learn from their mistakes and try to tie up the series in the next game. Still will be at the Chiefs' home stadium. Can the Chiefs continue to carry momentum into a Game 2 situation and take a 2-0 series lead, or can the Bills tie up this series at 1 game apiece? So far, no score in the first quarter. Bills on the board for 7-0. That is something they very well needed. They want to take the early 14-0 Bills, doing the exact opposite they did in Game 1, 17-7. Chiefs are really good at coming back, though. We've seen it so many times, 17-10. 20-10 Bills have the lead. Can the Chiefs come back? 20-17 is a 3-point game. Now they're in the lead, 24-20. The Chiefs do what they have done so many times, come from behind to win the game, 27-20. Weren't they down, 17-0? Dude, the Chiefs in the playoffs are so good at making comebacks. They do it once again. They take the 2-0 series lead over the Bills. The Bills will be back at home to try to tie up the series in the next 2 games. But man, these Chiefs do look really good, and a very big missed opportunity for the Bills. Must-win situation for the Bills. You cannot go down 3-0 to the Chiefs. There is no coming back from that. They have to win this game. They have to do what the AFC East team did with the Dolphins. They got to win the next 2 games. They got to do exactly what the Dolphins did, but, better and win games after that, not just win your 2 home games. But you got to start off by winning your home games. Let's see if the Bills are able to do that. Bills on the board first, 3-0. Chiefs score a touchdown, 7-3 now. Bills back up top, 10-7. Now they're up 17-7. Will they blow the lead this time? 17-14. Now it's 20-14. Still only up by 6. That's a dangerous number. Chiefs can easily score a touchdown. Now it's 26-14. Much safer number for the Bills. Now it's 26-21. Hold on. Now Chiefs in the lead, 27-26. Bills need points very quickly, 30-26, and the Bills get a game-winning touchdown when it looked like the Chiefs were going to get it. Josh Allen and the Bills get the game-winning touchdown to avoid the 3-0 series deficit and win 33-30 to make the series at 2-1, and they have another home game coming up with a shot to tie the series once again. Whew. This series could have almost been a 4-game series sweep, but man, the Bills gotta win when they needed it most. Can the Chiefs rebound after losing the game to take the 3-1 series lead, or can the Bills tie the series at 2 games apiece before going back to the Chiefs for Game 5? Chiefs up 7-0. Bills you gotta need a touchdown now. Chiefs up 10-0, double digits, 10-3. Bills have so far not been able to score a touchdown, 17-3. 24-3. Bills, this is not the performance you need in a Game 4 situation. 24-10. Can they make a miracle comeback? It is 31-13. It's not gonna look like it. 3-touchdown game, 34-23. That was 37-13. Ooh. Bills, that was a very, very rough Game 4 for you. You really could have used this win. Instead, the Chiefs missed an opportunity to win Game 3 to close out the series in 4 games. Instead, they'll be going back home for Game 5 to try to close out the series there. Bills are going to have to try to avoid elimination in Game 5, and doing it at Kansas City, that's going to be even more difficult. Chiefs are looking to do what they did in the last series, win in 5 games over the Bills. The Bills, obviously had trouble with the Colts and handled the Steelers pretty well. They were looking to force another Game 6. But, it's going to be difficult for them. The Chiefs are a really good team, and to win at the Chiefs is going to be very difficult for the Bills. They've missed opportunities to do it before. They could have done it in Game 2. We're tied 3-3, 10-3 now for the Chiefs. 17-3 now, Chiefs. Bills just cannot score when they need it. 31-3. And the Bills' chance of forcing a Game 6 has gone out the window. 31-10, 34-10. Chiefs win in 5 games and advance to the NFL Finals. I'm not calling it the Super Bowl because it's not just one game. It is best of 7 series, so I guess it'd be called the NFL Finals. The Chiefs are there. Now we will have to see who will join them. Will it be the Buccaneers and we can have a Super Bowl match in the NFL Finals? Or will it be the Saints, the higher overall seed? So this was a matchup in the NFL playoffs. It was also a matchup in the regular season, meaning the Saints actually did beat the Buccaneers 2 out of 3 times. However, when it mattered the most, the Buccaneers did get the game in the NFL divisional round to move on to the NFC Championship game. For this matchup, who do I see winning? I mean, the Buccaneers have looked very impressive in the playoffs. I would not be shocked to see them win again. I don't think it'll be a sweep. There's no way this series is going to be another sweep for the Buccaneers. If it is, watch out, Chiefs. That would be an interesting matchup. If we see the Buccaneers go through the playoffs and only take 4 games in 3 different series. I don't see it happening this time, but let's just see if the Saints can compete with them and even possibly steal the series to get to the NFL Finals. On the board, who will get on the board first? Buccaneers do with a field goal, 3-0. Now it is 10-0, 10-7. Man, Madden must love Tom Brady or something. 24-7. I swear, everywhere he goes, Madden just predicts the Buccaneers to do really well. 31-10. Is that some special treatment Madden gives to the Super Bowl winners that every simulation they do, they win every game? 34-20. It's close. 34-31. Can the Saints come back? Oh, it's tied all of a sudden. The game is tied. We are in overtime, but the Buccaneers get the game-winning touchdown in overtime. The Saints came back. They made it close, but the Buccaneers take Game 1 on the road, and they still have a shot to sweep the series. Already starting up the series 1-0. The Saints knew with how well the Buccaneers playing this playoffs that was a much-needed game, especially in overtime, that they could have had, but just weren't able to seal the deal in overtime. Saints, after almost coming back in Game 1, need to win Game 2. If they got on 2-0 to the Bucs again, then the Bucs are probably just going to roll by and sweep the series again. I mean, the Saints, you beat them twice in the regular season, so obviously you know how to beat the Buccaneers. You blew them out one time. But the Buccaneers I feel like, are just a different team now since those games happened against the Saints. Saints on the board first, 3-0. Buccaneers on the board first, though, with a touchdown. They get the first touchdown, 10-7 now, Saints. Now the Saints up 17-7. This is what they need over the Buccaneers to take a healthy lead 24-7. Now they're blowing out the Buccaneers, and the Buccaneers' chance of sweeping every series in the playoffs is going out the window as the Saints are now blowing out the Buccaneers. It's 38-14. And for the first time so far in this simulation, the Buccaneers actually lose a game. The series is tied 1 game apiece. And at least now I know it's possible for the Buccaneers to lose the simulation, because honestly I was starting to doubt it. This is a very pivotal game in the series. Whoever wins it takes the 2-1 series lead. The Buccaneers are at home. They have not lost yet at home in the simulation so far. They also hadn't lost on the road until that past game against the Saints. But they still have a perfect record at home in the playoffs. Let's see if the Buccaneers can continue that streak and win this home game. Can they take the series lead? They have not trailed in a series yet so far. Saints up 7-0. Buccaneers get a touchdown but miss the extra point. 13-7 now Buccaneers. They get another touchdown. 20-7. The Buccaneers do not want to trail in a series. 27-14. Still kind of close. It's still kind of close. Now the Buccaneers still up 2 touchdowns. 30-14. 30-17. Now it's 38-17. Saints are not going to be able to come back in this game. 38-24. 41-24. Buccaneers still have not trailed in a series. They are now up 2-1 over the Saints and continue to get closer at getting a Super Bowl, an NFL Finals match that was against their Super Bowl opponent, the Chiefs. But they still have more games to go. They're only up 1 game over the Saints. They have another home game coming up in Game 4. Saints have a higher overall team than the Buccaneers, but just like the Packers are trailing in the series, that they won a game this time against the Buccaneers. But they do not want to go down 3-1 against the red-hot Buccaneers. Can the Buccaneers take the 3-1 series lead, though, and go back to the Saints with a shot at closing out the series? Buccaneers are on the scoreboard for 7-0. Now it's 10-0. Man, these Buccaneers are just so good in these simulations. 10-7, 17-7. Can the Saints even score? 20-7. Now it's 20-14. Still close. Buccaneers 20-17. The Saints got a field goal. We are tied 20-20. 27-20. It's still close. 30-20. Now it's 37-20. Buccaneers pulling away late. And man, their offense is so good. Just imagine next year when they're going to probably have even more talent on this team. 44-20. Buccaneers up 3-1. The 4 seed over the 2 seed. We will have a Game 5. The Buccaneers will be playing a Game 5 for the first time in the simulation. They are up 3-1, but can the Saints win a game at home when they are facing elimination to avoid going home before reaching the NFL Finals? Saints' backs are against the wall, being down 3-1. They want to avoid elimination here in a Game 5. It's going to be a tough road for them. I don't know how they beat the Buccaneers in 3 games in a row without the Buccaneers winning at least one of those games. With how the Buccaneers have looked, that's going to be very hard to do. I'm kind of thinking the series is going to be close out here. The Buccaneers have looked really impressive. This is the farthest any series has gone with the Buccaneers so far. They're the only team that has swept a series so far. And, they're not going to be able to sweep the series this time, but if they win in 5 games, that'll be impressive still. Saints up 7-0 early on. Now they're up 14-0 though. Hold on. Maybe the series isn't going to end here. 21-7. Saints are at home knowing they need to win a game. 21-10. That's the halftime score. 28-10. The Saints needed a win badly. Badly they needed a win. This could be a momentum changer. Saints take the game 42-16. Meaning the Buccaneers are going to have to go to Game 6 before closing out the series, which means now they have an opportunity to close out the series at home. But will they be able to do it, or will the Saints continue on and force a Game 7 to have a Game 7 at home? If they do that, then all of a sudden the series is taking a whole different change and maybe swing in the Saints' favor, but they got to win Game 6. Can the Saints once again avoid elimination? This time they are on the road at the Buccaneers. Buccaneers still have not yet lost a home game. They're looking to continue that stretch and get to the NFL Finals to face the Chiefs. They do not want to go to a Game 7 at the Saints, because if that happens then, in my opinion, I think the Saints turn back to the series favorites. But right now the Buccaneers have it. They just want to end it here. They do not want to go back to the Saints for a Game 7. That'd be worst case scenario for the Buccaneers, but the Saints obviously need that. Saints already up 7-0. We're tied 7-7. Who's going to score the next points? So far, it's still 7-7. Will we go? Buccaneers 14-7. Now it's 14-10 at halftime. 28-10, 28-17. 35-17. All of a sudden we get so much scoring, but the Buccaneers have a lead, looking to close out the series here. They're going to end the series at 6 games, winning 41-24. The Saints just could not win a road game, and they couldn't win they won some of their home games, but they couldn't win them all. The Saints were able to delay the inevitable in Game 5, but the Buccaneers have looked so impressive in the simulation that it's only fitting that in this best-of-7 series, we get Chiefs versus Buccaneers just like we did in real life, but this time, one game won't decide it. Whoever best-of-7 series will decide it. Well, here it is, the NFL Finals, Chiefs versus Buccaneers. Just like it was in real life with the Super Bowl, one game will not decide it. Best-of-7 series will decide who will win 4 games between these two teams first. Both these teams looked very impressive in the series. I really don't know, and I'm kind of glad it actually almost ended out this way. At first I wasn't, but I'm kind of glad it actually did end up this way because now we get to see, will the Buccaneers win again? Do they not need only one game to do it? They can do it in a best-of-7, or the Chiefs just the better team? I think this is really the true way of finding out who really is the better team. Of course, the Buccaneers won in real life, and that's what matters the most. But this is just a simulation. Can the Chiefs change history and win the NFL Finals? I guess we'll just have to see what happens. Chiefs on the board first, 7-0. Buccaneers tie the game 7-7. Chiefs up 10-7. We're tied 10-10. Now Buccaneers up 17-10. We're tied again 17-17. Very close game. Buccaneers on the board 24-17 for. Now it's 31-17. They are up 2 touchdowns, 31-24. Chiefs are making it close, 34-31. Can the Chiefs come back to win the game? They do not. Buccaneers take Game 1 of the NFL Finals on the road. Man, the Buccaneers are so impressive in this simulation. And it just continues to look more and more likely that the Buccaneers will do like what they did in real life. Like they did, in the Super Bowl, but instead in the NFL Finals, win 4 games before the Chiefs can. I have a feeling this series could go all the way down to 7 games, though. With how that first game went, would not be shocked. Another thing to note, as you saw in that video, it was at the Chiefs home stadium. I didn't put it to Super Bowl because in real life, like in the NBA, they don't play at a specific court for 7 games. They play at the team's home stadium like it goes for the rest of the playoffs. So that's why it's just at whatever it's called, regular, what is it called, simulation, whatever the heck it's called, normal thing. So it's not set to Super Bowl. Let's just sim the other game. Can the Buccaneers go up 2-0 in the series, or will the Chiefs tie it at 1 game? I think the Chiefs are going to tie it, in my opinion. I think the series is going to go down right to the wire. Chiefs on the board for 7-0. We're tied again, we're tied at 7-7. Now it's 17-7. 17-14. Man, I can barely speak. There's so much scoring in this game. 20-14. Buccaneers on top. 21-20. Now 23-21. I can barely even finish my sentence. 24-23. Back and forth game. Chiefs on top. 26-24. Now they're up 29-24. And the Buccaneers get a game-winning touchdown in the final seconds. Well, I was about to say the Chiefs hold on to win, but they do not hold on to win. Buccaneers up 2-0. Man, wouldn't that be incredible if the Buccaneers somehow sweep the series 4-0, even with how close this series has been. Buccaneers take a 2-0 series lead. Now the Chiefs have to go to the Buccaneers to win games, and the Buccaneers have not yet lost a home game. Scary for the Chiefs, being down 2-0. That is something they have not done so far in the playoffs. The Chiefs have not been down in the series, in any series so far. The closest they've been were tied with the Dolphins at 2 games. Now the Chiefs they've been good at coming out of games, like coming from behind in games. Can they come from behind in a series? We'll have to find out in the next 2 games when they play on the road. We're now at the Buccaneers Stadium for Game 3, which is where the Super Bowl actually took place. And in that game, the Chiefs got blown out by the Buccaneers. It was not a close game. Can the Buccaneers win the next 2 games? They haven't lost at home so far in this simulation. They're going to look to continue that streak in the NFL Finals. Chiefs need a win desperately. They played 2 close games with the Buccaneers in games 1 and 2, but the Buccaneers won the games on the road when they needed to. Can the Chiefs win these 2 games? They need at least one, but I guarantee you they need both of them. It starts here at Game 3. They cannot lose this game. Buccaneers already up 13-0 on the Chiefs. Chiefs have not yet scored a touchdown. There they go, 13-7. Now the Chiefs up 14-13. Now they're up 21-13. They are up by 8 points, 21-16, 24-16. Can the Buccaneers survive this home game? 24-21. 3-point game. Can the Buccaneers score late? Yes, they do. 28-24. But the Chiefs get the game-winning touchdown late. They do what the Buccaneers did to them in the last game. And the Chiefs win Game 3. Finally, the Buccaneers lose at home in the playoffs. 31-28. Chiefs only down 2-1 in the series. Game 4 back to the Buccaneers. They're going to need it again to avoid a 3-1 series deficit. As I just said, must-win game for the Chiefs. The last game was a must-win. This one isn't as much of a must-win, but it still seems like a must-win. Don't want to go down 3 games to 1 to the Buccaneers. They'll make you pay for it. Even if they don't win Game 5, they'll win Game 6 probably. So the Chiefs must win game to take back home field advantage. That's something they need desperately, especially with how good the Buccaneers have been at home in the playoffs so far. They didn't win the last playoff game. They didn't win their last home game in the playoff. They're gonna look to do what they're gonna look to not do what they did in Game 3 here. All 3 games have been so close so far. It comes down to the very end. I'm guessing Game 4 is going to be exactly the same. Chiefs already on the board, 7-0. Now they're at 14-0. Chiefs they have a chip on their shoulder. They know they're going to blow out the Buccaneers. They have to win this game, 28-7. They know if they want to win the NFL Finals, they got to win this game. 28-17 is starting to get closer. 35-17, 35-24. Can the Buccaneers get any closer? So far, no score. 38-24. It's a 2-touchdown game. No chance for the Buccaneers. They're no longer that great at home. This has been an all-road series so far, in which case that means the advantage would be with the Buccaneers if the road team has the advantage. The Chiefs go to the Buccaneers, do something that no team has done so far in the playoffs, win 2 games on the road. They tie the series 2 games apiece. They go back home to, win a home game, which that's not happened in this series so far, and win the game 38-24. The Chiefs were able to crawl back in this series, tie the series at 2 games. It looked like the Buccaneers were going to have an opportunity to possibly sweep this series. Chiefs crawled back. We're tied 2-2. Can the Chiefs win a home game? That's something that neither team has done in this series so far. The road team has had the advantage, and if that continues, then really the Buccaneers have road field advantage. I've never said that before, but technically that's how the series has gone. Let's see if the trend continues, or can the Chiefs put an end to that, win the game, and take a 3-2 series lead. Chiefs on the board first, 3-0. Very low scoring game. Now Chiefs up 10-0. Buccaneers have not gotten on the scoreboard yet. Now they do with a field goal, 17-3. Chiefs up big right now in the third quarter. Now it's 2-score game. Now 1-score game. 20-17. I can barely keep up. Score keeps changing that quickly. It's only 23-17. Buccaneers can get a touchdown. Can they get a touchdown? They cannot. Chiefs win 23-17. And after being now 2-0 in the series, they take the 3-2 series lead in them. For the first time in this simulation, the Buccaneers are down in a series. The Chiefs were down for the first time in a series when this series began. Now the Buccaneers are down for the first time in the series. They go back home for Game 6. That's going to be a must-win. Momentum has completely flipped over to the Chiefs, winning 3 games in a row. Can they win 4 games in a row, though? We haven't seen a series go to 7 games since the Seahawks and Bears in the first round. It also happened with the Bills and Colts in the first round. Those are the only 2 series that have gone to 7 games. This series seems has a very good chance of going to 7 games, but if that happens, the Buccaneers have to win Game 6. If the Chiefs win this game, then it will end in 6 games, and they will be the NFL Finals winner, and it will be the opposite of what happened in real life when the Buccaneers won the Super Bowl. This is at the Buccaneers' home stadium. They've only lost 2 games at home so far in the simulation, and that was against the Chiefs, the very last 2 home games they played. Chiefs have been good at Buccaneers, other than in real life, but in the simulation they've been good at the Buccaneers. Can they end the NFL Finals here, or will we go to 7 games? This could be the end right here. Buccaneers on the scoreboard first, 3-0. Chiefs on the board now, 7-3. Buccaneers take the lead, 10-7. Now it's 14-10. Chiefs in the lead, 14-13. Now Buccaneers in the lead, 16-14, 21-16, back and forth game, 24-16. Chiefs have an 8-point lead. Now it's grown to 31-16. Is this the end of the road for the Buccaneers? It's 31-23, and it is. The Chiefs are your NFL Finals winner, winning in 6 games. With how the Buccaneers were playing all playoffs wrong and how the series began with the Buccaneers having a 2-0 lead. I did not see this happening with the Chiefs winning 4 games in a row to win the NFL Finals. So that shows you, if the NFL used the NBA playoff format, you still get the same 2 teams in the end, the Buccaneers and Chiefs. However, maybe the Chiefs just had a bad game in the Super Bowl. If they use the NBA playoff format, the Chiefs probably are the better team, and they probably win 4 games before the Buccaneers do. However, that is something that's never going to happen in real life. That's way too many games. You know, you can only play 1 football game per week. It's not like the NBA. You could do a game every other day. That's why they can do best of 7. And, you know, I think this shows you that the playoff format we have now in the NFL is fine. You get the same 2 best teams. I think best of 7 definitely shows the better team. In my opinion, I really think it does. I think the best of 7 just shows, you know, who the better team is overall, because, you know, the better team's going to win 4 games before the underdog is. But, you know, with the NFL format, you still get the better teams in the end, but you also get upsets. Rams versus Seahawks, I think, is an example. Browns versus Steelers. I don't think Browns win 4 games over the Steelers. Rams and Seahawks, I don't think Rams win 4 games over the Seahawks. I think they got 1 win, and that was enough for them. So that's why I think the NFL format, you know, is better for the NFL than the NBA format is. Obviously, like I said, this format could never happen in real life because of how many games there are. But I think it was an interesting simulation to do. And, you know, the Chiefs are the winner of this. So in the first simulation, the March Madness did, I had the Packers coming out on top. This time, the Chiefs come out on top. Let me know if you're still watching this video, thank you for supporting the channel. If you watched part 1 and part 2, you watched the whole thing, that is incredible. They are very long videos. Very appreciative. If you want to help a small YouTuber out, hit the subscribe button. It would mean the world to me. And also, let me know what other Madden simulations you want me to do. If this video does good, like my March Madness video did, then I will obviously keep doing more. Yeah, I don't really know what else to do after this. I will do more, I promise you that, especially if this video does good. But anyways, I'm going to stop rambling on. I'm going to see you all later. See you in the next one. Peace.